Okay, the time has come. I'm opening all of these new pure scented samples that I ordered. These are all 100 ml samples, which is a really decent size, I think, for candles, because it means you can make, whether it be candles or wax melts, but specifically for candles, I use, I think it's 18 grams of fragrance oil per candle. And so if I get like I said 10 ml would be completely pointless for me, but even a 50 ml, it doesn't last very long. At least this way, I can first of all see what scents I like, what combinations I like, and then I'm able to test it with a couple of different waxes, a couple of different wicks. If it doesn't work, I still have a little bit left over to keep in reserves for as and when I'm doing this kind of thing again and like trying to make new blends. So 100 ml is good, but it is expensive. This was an expensive little test order. I swear to God, every single time I'm filming something, the ice cream man comes around. They've all got a little plug in the top, which depending on where you get them from, it's easier to remove. But what I like to use is a pair of scissors just to kind of like just ease it into the top part and then squeeze it off. There you go. Although, do you know what? These are really filled. And because the bottles are so squeezy, I'm used to samples coming in metal bottles. And maybe this is not the way to do it with these ones. It's a good job that that is a nice fragrance, because I'm going to live with that for a while. It's on my clothes. It's probably on my apron. It's definitely on, well, it's on my skin, but it's definitely on the work surface. It's going to stick around for a while. That's USA Candle Cedar and Balsam. USA Candle is Pure's get out gel free for, what's it called? Yankee Candle. So this is like supposed to be a dupe of a Yankee Candle scent. Yeah, don't do as I say, because, okay. Well, let's not do that in the next one. This is why I'm doing it. Oh my God, I can't. This is the only problem with it. Like, I was putting it down and it's just like, no, don't want to stay. Just go over there. This is the reason that I'm doing this in the kitchen, because I didn't want to do it anywhere where I didn't want to spill oil. Let's try this again, shall we? This time I'm just going to use my hands. This one is orange. Do you know what? That last one is really quite nice. And it is a little bit tricky. Especially, even then, the oil is coming out, which these are not. These are not great, you know. I haven't had very many from Pure. I'm starting to feel like, although the scissors weren't perfect, they are actually still the best way to do it. These are just a little bit leaky because they're squeezy bottles. This is also 100%, this is full right to the top. I don't even know how they managed to get the plug in there. I mean, as we go, I want to get the oil off my hands though, because I don't want to get it all over each of them. This one's black tea. I'm really excited about this one. Karen and I want to do a scent for Yorkshire Day. We were going to do it last year and then we just didn't get it together in time, which is like story of our lives. But, oh, am I going to get this one? Oh, unscathed. Third time's a charm. I got to smell this one. Honestly, I can only smell orange. That orange is so strong. It reminds me of something from my childhood, something from like the early 90s, maybe. Maybe there was like oh, do you know what? I know what it is. It smells exactly like the tangerine range from the Body Shop. Do you remember that? It's all I can smell. So I'll go somewhere else before I actually show you them all. But okay, well, I take it back. My initial way of opening these still does work, but you've got to be careful because they're so squeezy. So hold them at the sides. You've got a little bit more control. You're not going to squeeze the bottle. And still, if you use scissors, this is still the best way to cleanly take them all off. See, this is why, although these were fails, I think fails are important to share. Learn from my mistakes. Don't repeat them. Beautiful. So now on to the testing part. I bought these. I've done a few different versions of this over the years, and then I was speaking to Karen about it recently, and I said, I think the next time we do new scents, I have an idea. We have in the past used these jars tins to do like a travel candle, because the diameter is similar to like a full-size candle. It's not like a little candle. So you still get a really nice hot throw from these, but it's a smaller amount. It doesn't really save us a great deal. Obviously, it saves us in the materials that goes on the inside, but the candle itself is relatively expensive. Not the candle, the tin. And the label is still going to cost us the same as the full candle. We're not saving tons, but we are saving some. And when we've offered in the past, and we do these if anyone's interested, wedding favours, we do them in tins like this. Anyway, so we're familiar with these tins. We do get use out of them. But I said to Karen, I think I've thought of a new way we can use these tins. And it is in testing. Also, for those of you who do markets, we have tins like this that we use on our market stalls, and they have no wick in them, and it's just like a solid, I fill them with wax, put the lid on top. The lid then has the name of the candle. So if you're outdoors, especially in England, I just feel like it's cold all the time, and like the weather, and the weather. If you're outdoors for a long period of time, it's hard to really get a scent from the candle. By the end of the day, sometimes the scent is not really there. And so you can open this up and they've got like a contained hit of fragrance. So if that's of use to you, it's a pretty affordable way of doing a tester for smell. So are you getting my drift as to where I'm going with this? I have some cotton wool. I'm not going to use the whole cotton wool ball per scent. I feel like we could probably get more from these because we only really need a drop of each. I'm just separating them all out into pieces. So the idea is I'm going to use these to absorb a little bit of the fragrance oil. I'm going to put these inside the tins, and these are going to basically act in the same way as what I make for the markets, but they're going to be for Karen and I to test different combinations of scents and work out what we like together without using a ton of supplies. So where to begin? Well, first of all, I'm trying to put together the last of the range that we're about to launch, which is kind of Disney themed. Not Disney, very much not Disney. If anyone asks, if a lawyer calls, not Disney, but kind of, let's say, fairy tale themed. And imagine that there is a main street to that fairy tale. That is the fragrance that I am trying to recreate. And some of the fragrances I got that I thought might work, not this. This is bikini season. Not this. I got another that looks like this. Oh my God. It's like dominoes. I have a real love-hate with these because they just fall so easily. Right, so salted caramel. That was one of them. Glazed donut. How amazing does that smell? Or does that sound like it smells? Chantilly. That might have been it. Oh, maybe. Oh, toffee apple. Toffee apple, that was one of them. And orange, now I've smelled it, I feel like is going to overpower absolutely everything. So I'm just going to see how these smell. Just going to get some labels. I'm going to stick a couple of labels on top of these tins so I can write on them what is inside. Let's start with salted caramel. This is going to be more than we need, but it's difficult to get less than this without a pipette, and I can't be bothered. Oh, I should have left it open. That's just stupid of me. Or opened it at all. So I'm just going to put that in there. Give it a minute, and I'll do the others while I'm waiting. Oh my God, I am just fingers and thumbs today. Oh, toffee apple really reminds me of something, but I have a bad feeling it's apple sours. And that is not really what I want in a candle, especially one that smells like a fairy tale. I did the thing with the orange. Like, the orange is a nightmare. The orange is just a nightmare. Ooh, chantilly. I've just literally done this for every single one of those bottles, so I just got a little bit confused with where was what. Right, let's give them a sniff because these were the first ones that we did. So salted caramel. Oh, wow, I can really smell the salt in that. It's a softer smell than I thought, but I'm trying to get like a caramel popcorn smell, and that is really close. Chantilly, this is more, obviously it's going to be kind of like a sweet vanilla, a cream, but I don't know if it's necessarily going to be right for this, but it may be right for something else that I have my mind on. Yeah, do you know what though? It could still work because that smells like ice cream to me. That smells a lot like ice cream. Maybe that mixed with like glazed donut, that could be amazing. Oh my God, that smells so realistic. Wow. Oh, I can't wait for Karen to smell these. Right, so salted caramel and glazed donut are incredible. And I'm not a foodie candle person, but they smell really good. Oh, I really don't like that. Toffee apple definitely smells like something you would do as a shot when you've already had too many shots. But these are a definite maybe. I'll get into the rest of the fragrances. However, I want to show you now, because obviously these are already blends. Some of them we use are like one note. Like for example, sweet jasmine. That's pretty much a singular note. It will still be some kind of blend. But we don't tend to use like single essential oils and blend that way. We tend to work from something that's like coffee, something that's like orange, something that's like vanilla, and then we'll blend things together that way. So these, the glazed donut and salted caramel, these are already going to be relatively complex blends. So if we could find just one thing or maybe two things to put together to make the ultimate scent that I'm looking for, then it's going to be a really full, hopefully very authentic smell. I can't get over that donut one because that is legit. Just smell this. What does it smell like?
A bit caramelly?
Well, yeah, it does, but very specifically, it's a glazed donut. You think more wait, I think I've only mixed them up.
I could,
No,
I'm not good at this.
I don't think so. I know, but...
Oh, that's very caramelly.
That one's salted caramel, and the other one is glazed donut. I'm trying to get that, like, popcorn Main Street smell. This is the bottle I keep our coffee shop blend in, and there's almost nothing in here. However, I'm going to just get a little drop of it. How am I going to do that? There is like a tiny bit. There's nothing in it if I was going to try and make a candle, but there's a lot more than I need for the purposes of this, because I just need a dab. I'm going to put that in a new tin with... I don't know whether to do caramel or... Let me smell them again. Glazed donut, I think, is the closest to like a popcorny smell. Definitely. I'm going glazed donut. So I'm going to do our coffee shop smell and glazed donut. And to me, maybe this sounds crazy, but to me, I want like a chlorine-y smell, which I don't have. But there's certain smells, like whenever we go to Vegas, whenever I smell like a fountain, a pool, it reminds me of Vegas. But the thing that you're not going to get from doing this is I would do just like a very small amount. I would probably do like 10 or 20% of the coffee shop blend in with the glazed donut. Or maybe like, because I'm thinking maybe the glazed donut and then something else. But if it was like this, I'd do like 30% coffee shop, 70% glazed donut, because I think the coffee shop would overpower this. And I just kind of want it to be a hint of coffee in the background of the smell, not have that be like, this is what you're smelling. It's written on the lid because I didn't bring enough labels, that is glazed donut and coffee shop. And I'm going to make a few of these so that when Karen comes around on Tuesday, I can get her to smell them all and she's going to be like, right, here are my favourites. I do have Sea Breeze, which is a very nice scent, and I do think I'm going to use this for a different blend, but it's not that kind of like water, that like fresh, like a fountain smell. This is definitely more like an ocean spray smell. And I don't think I've got anything else. Let me just pull out a couple that I was interested in. Right, I wanted to know Dracula's Dream and Haunted Manor, because we are doing a Summerween collection. Oh, is that Dracula's Dream? That's really disappointing. That's really light, and it just kind of smells like aftershave to me. Haunted Manor. Oh, my nose might be all out now, because I can't smell that very much at all. Let me see if I can smell a different one. Ooh, pistachio marshmallow. I just got some pistachio ice cream for the first time the other day. I'd never tasted pistachio before. Soft but sweet, and obviously it's got the marshmallow, but it does remind me a lot of the ice cream, so I'm going to assume it's somewhat authentic. I want to find one that would be a little bit stronger. Let's try Bikini Season. Oh, I like that. That's like a tropical, it kind of reminds me of like sun cream and a cocktail. That's really nice. And black tea. It's probably a terrible time to smell this because I don't think I can smell anything now. But Yeah, I can't really smell that at all, which again is disappointing because we were hopeful for this. I'm thinking like black tea and rose might be nice for a blend for Yorkshire Day. Anyway, this is kind of in a nutshell what I wanted to show you. So first of all, this is a really nice way of keeping. I've done this again in the past when I've done custom scents for people, like when we've done the occasional wholesale thing where we've like made a blend for someone. I've made an actual like I've put it in a little plastic pot and used these. And also in the past I've put little fragrance sticks. I've put those like in a bag, just tried to contain a scent. But moving forward, I think whenever I get a new sample scent, I'm going to do this just so that I have them as a reference. So at any given time, if I'm like looking on the website, trying to think like what might this smell like for this particular thing, rather than having to get all messy and getting the oils out and like, but what does that really smell like diluted? I've got each of them in a little sample tin. I can always like move them about and like be like, what might this be like with this? I think this is the way to do it. And then in terms of blends, this is always what I've done in some way, shape or form. Even in the very, very beginning, we had a little Tupperware and we put a dab of oil. I think at the time we were doing it on perfume sticks, but we said put a dab of oil on each of them and we put them in a box, and then we left the box for like 10 minutes and smelled the box. That was always how we did it, but I think this is a bit more of a streamlined way. So hopefully that was useful to some of you. Again, I'm obviously not going to share exactly the blends and things that we're going to use because first of all, this is a business, but second of all, this is not my business, it's our business. It's a shared business, and me deciding to share this stuff with you online is, this is a me thing, whereas the business is an us thing. And that's not really fair to Karen, who I share the business with. However, if anyone does have any specific questions, feel free to message me. You can email me. I'll have all my information in the description bar. I'm always happy to give as much information as I can. I'm just not going to kind of like publicly share all of our supplies and all of our things because I don't necessarily want to, give away trade secrets when they're not only mine to share. I'm sure you understand. Hopefully that's been useful. I know a couple of you had asked the question before, and when I asked the other day, does anyone want to see how I blend things? I did get a couple of yeses. So yeah, hopefully that was useful or interesting or entertaining. And if it was, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.